So today we're going to do some really quick and simple figures just to get people who aren't really familiar with drawing figures a little bit of a boost and a place to start. Okay, so let's start by thinking about proportions. So we have the human body is a head, obviously. Now, if you draw 3 heads, that's going to give you your torso size. Now, if you draw another 3 heads, that is going to give you your leg size. There's some feet. Now, hands are going to come down to roughly about the middle. There you go. So that's the really basic, simple building blocks of a person. Now, whatever pose they're in, whether they're doing yoga or sitting down, those sort of proportions apply. So let's just go and say, here's somebody sat on a park bench, okay? Now, their body is going to be roughly there, because that's 3 times a head. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to have 1.5 heads, so about there to a knee, and then 1.5 heads to a foot. And they're going to be sat like that. So what you can do is you can actually, if you want to do it more simply than that, you can just do some stick lengths. Like that. Literally just draw some sticks. Okay, so that's sort of stage 1, is just understanding that people are these proportions. Now that can be expressed in something as simple as just drawing somebody like a carrot, which in an urban scene, having quite abstract people might be quite fun. But that is basically, so this is where we're starting. So say, for example, if you've got somebody walking down the street or some people and you just want to populate a scene, why not just express it as something as simple as that? You don't have to be that clever about this. The more free you are, and actually, weirdly, the more abstract you are, I think often the more confident and these figures can look. So I would suggest, if you're drawing people on the street and you're in a public place, I would be quite loose. So if somebody stood on their phone, say, just sketch a head in, and then you want to be just thinking about where those, 1, 2, 3. So that's probably about right for there. And then 1, 2, 3. And not like a 1 foot coming towards you, 1 foot to the side. So basically what I'm saying is be quite loose and be quite gestural with it. So do some people down here. And that can be like a mother and child walking there in the distance. And then as they get closer, see what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to add in a little sense of form by splaying out those shapes at the bottom of the carrot. And then maybe somebody even closer. They've maybe got a bag on the shoulder or something. Oh, you could literally just do some shapes like that. So I would say it's a bit of an evolution when you can start with your carrot, and then from there you can start thinking about a carrot with some feet, some roots, and then you add those figures and just have a play with that. And then eventually what you're going to realize is that what you have is a person. saying hello. So there's a sort of natural progression, and then once you get to this stage, it just becomes about fleshing out that. So if you were to take your head here and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm just using some dots here. So because I've sketched quite a lot of figures, I'm using exactly the same principles here. In other words, your sort of 6 heads. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just really quickly show you where you can very quickly end up. Oh, a bit of a scratch there. So I'm using a bit of a sort of continuous line method here. And then, so for this guy, I'm not going to do anything too complicated with the face. I'm going to keep that quite simple. Let's give him a nice scarf. Maybe this guy can be, I think we'll maybe go hands in pockets. Give him a bit of a hoodie. Right, so that's the next stage on, but obviously what that involves is a little bit more detail in the shoes, clothes, head, etc. But really, that's kind of where you're going with this. That's where you start. That's you end up. But this is a journey that's my journey. You might not follow this, if you know what I mean. You might go somewhere completely different, and that's really cool. So to practice drawing figures, I often do little sketches like this, as well as actual life drawing of real people. These are really, really good for getting an idea about tone and structure of the body. Simple sketches like this. Yeah, it can be quite messy. It doesn't have to be finished. It doesn't have to be anything. But the point. So your superpower is that you don't draw like anybody else, and it's very easy when you're beginning in art to look at your drawings and go, but it doesn't look like that. Why can't my simple sketches look like their simple sketches? Well, it's because you don't have necessarily the same visual language. Your muscles and brain don't work in the same way. So what you have to do is start embracing that special power. Develop your own style, practice, have fun, because that's what it's all about. So these kind of quick sketches, do them. You'll really enjoy it. Download some pictures from the internet of people sitting in park benches, walking down the street, roughly sketch them. And then as you develop, you can start to refine your sketches down, going from a carrot to simple figures with legs, and then more complete figures. And then, yeah, wherever you want to end up with it, it's completely up to you. So I hope you enjoyed that. There isn't any magic bullet or magic carrot. It's really a case of starting with quite abstract shapes, overall outside shapes, and then developing those into more complicated real characters, if you know what I mean. I hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, we'll see you again. Cheers, bye.